Hello, how are you? This is the weekend, no, beginning of the week. Oh, I keep doing that. I don't know where to start the video again. No, I'll just carry on. I'm such a donut. I did this last time. It's because I'm trying to be more organised. Okay, so this is for Monday next week. I hope you had a good weekend. I hope it was all right. I mean, just because it's a weekend doesn't mean it's going to be good, does it? I tend to do a lot of my purging at the weekend, particularly when I haven't got my kids here. You know, and especially, you know, like if you're not working as much over the weekend and it's more quiet, sometimes that can be more when you sort of like notice you start having mind activity and thinking about things that aren't going very well for you, the challenges you're having, pain body can come up. So weekends are not always that great, are they? But I hope your weekend was all right. And so for the week ahead, I'm probably just going to start calling these weekly tarot readings. So this is Monday through Friday. I'm using this deck for our relationship message, and I'm going to use the Saints and Angels. It's a very old deck, but it's very cute, for what message our spirit guides have for us for the following week. So we'll get those out. And yeah, if you want to book in for a reading, you're very welcome. Just contact me. I do put my website and contact details below. Thanks for giving the video a thumbs up, because it does help it get out across YouTube. That really helps me, because it is a small channel, but it's a lovely channel. It's small, but we are soul family. And I do talk about that quite a lot, because a lot of these tarot channels don't do that. But when you're resonating with a particular channel, it's because you're part of a soul family, and you'll find that you're all going through really similar things. So it's great when I connect with you and do readings, or you leave messages on the page on the channel for me to read, because it's yeah, it's always confirmation that we are soul family, you know, like we're a soul group. So we're going to go into Taurus and see what we get. Ooh. I'm not the best shuffler. Anyway, it doesn't matter. Spirit, which still brings the messages. Cherish your relationship. So I always explain that everything starts off with the relationship with ourselves. Our relationship with ourselves is where all relationships stem from, and you are learning to cherish yourself. How beautiful. So you may also be noticing you're starting to cherish certain relationships, or if that's not happening for you yet, don't worry. It won't be long now, because if you're cherishing yourself, you will find that starts happening in your relationships as well, all different types of relationships. Okay, and I've got Taurus in my chart, and that is happening for me at the moment, I have to say, which is nice. And gratitude is the highest frequency as well. So you're doing some great work here, Taurus, this week. You've got the Empress, so you've been in a manifestation phase lately. I think this came through for Taurus the other day. Not the Empress, but the fact that you've been manifesting something recently. And it's like you are in the process of manifesting a new beginning in your life. You've got the Judgment card. The Judgment is not just about making good decisions or making a big decision. It's actually about a new chapter in your life beginning. And Spirit is kind of working behind the scenes to help you with your new chapter, okay? So you're making decisions that are all about you valuing yourself. Now, somebody connected to you is closing down an old cycle that they've been on. So there's an ending for somebody that's connected to you, Taurus, and a new beginning for them. And they're going to be moving forward more smoothly with the Six of Swords. That's normally the one with the boat, and there's like 6 swords in it. And somebody's starting to accept how, you know, different people play different roles in their life, and they're starting to accept that an old chapter has come to an end, and that they've got to kind of embrace a new beginning. And this new beginning is going to be a bit more smooth for this person now. If it's a group energy that you're sort of wanting to tap into, what I would say is that whatever group energy you've been involved with up until this point is starting to shut down. So you may be moving away from old networks or collective groups that you may have been involved with, and there's going to be something about the new way forward for you, which is going to be more smooth. So whether that's like new people that you, new energies that you interact with, okay, or the energies that are left over, I don't know. But it feels like something in your external reality is shutting down, and then it's going to be easier to move forward with whatever group energy it is you interact with, if that makes sense. So, you know, you could be pulling away from a group energy, basically. Or a group energy that you were previously interacting with is sort of changing somehow. We'll see what your person's thinking. Okay, let's take it slowly, please. So this could be an actual person who is now embracing a new beginning with you, and it's like, it's still quite early days and they're just wanting you to take it slow. They can't rush things. If it's more to do with the group energy and you're noticing that the energies around you are just generally changing, Spirit is reassuring you that that is happening, you know? So if there was group energies you wanted to move away from and you're just wanting things to be easier, it will be, but it's just going to take a bit of time. Let's have a look at what your spirit guides are advising. Vision. Okay, so your spirit guides are helping you cultivate a vision at the moment, and so probably patience is required at this time, because you've kind of got to have the vision really like with clarity. You know, they're helping you to gain clarity, see more clearly, have a higher level of consciousness in terms of your vision for your life before you can then make it really happen. But it's all kind of happening simultaneously. There's a lot happening for Taurus simultaneously at the moment. So there is a new vision for your life being cultivated, you know, and this is confirmation of that, you know. So you can cherish the good things, you can cherish the value you found in yourself, and it is starting to manifest externally for you. So there's going to be some really positive changes, either in a relationship or just the energies generally that you normally would interact with. You know, there's going to be significant improvements, but Spirit is saying to just be patient, because it's going to take time for you to really get firm on exactly what that vision is, and then it will really happen for you. And that's the process that Spirit's taking you through at the moment. Okay, so it should be an interesting week ahead for you. You know, just gaining more and more clarity, more and more understanding of what's going on, and more kinds of what's the card? Yeah, more and more knowing that Spirit is supporting you with this, you know. And Spirit can be very instantaneous, but a lot of the time it's much more gradual than the human ego would like. So you may notice your human ego wants to speed up this new phase of your life, but Spirit is trying to say, look, you know, Spirit's helping you do this, so it is taking a bit of time, okay? But it's happening. It's absolutely happening. Okay, so I just have a bit of my tea. So let's go into Virgo. So Virgo for the next week. Receptive. Be ready to receive what fate has planned for you. So there's a sense for Virgo at the moment that things are happening as per the divine plan. And in reality, that is always happening, okay? It's the human ego that thinks it's so important and it's driving everything and it's making everything happen, but it's not. It's Spirit that's making everything happen according to past karmas from past lives and what is spiritually aligned for you in this lifetime to experience and kind of learn, basically. So, you know, there's a sense for Virgo that, yes, I do understand now. Spirit is in charge and I can relax a bit. I don't have to overthink things so much, and I don't have to feel like I'm controlling everything. So there's a nice sort of like relationship that you're getting with Spirit here at the moment over the next week. You know, that it's like, okay, I surrender now, I understand, you know. because I've got Virgo in my chart, and it can make us really like super focused all the time, to the point where we think we're, you know, that we've really got to plan and instigate every single thing. But it is really giving that up to spirit. It's not an easy thing to do when you've got Virgo in your chart. Okay, King of Wands and the Tower. Wow. So recently you have made some important, significant changes, because you've decided, right, I need to be more real. I need to be more honest with myself about what it is I want and who I am. I need to be more honest with myself where things I was doing previously were risky or weren't really right for me anymore. Maybe they were right for me at the time, but they're not right for me now. So you've become a lot more responsible lately, a lot more mature, and a lot more authentic with yourself, you know, which is great energy, really great energy. So what's happening over the next week is the Tower card. Don't freak out. It just means that, you know, you're understanding this process that Spirit's taking you through. You don't have full control and power over it, but you are understanding that making good judgments and being really authentic with yourself is primarily what you need to do, and then Spirit is taking care of the rest. And over the next week there will probably be a sense of, you know, I'm now building up my life from, you know, ground zero up, much more in my truth, you know. And sometimes that may make you feel a bit tired. Sometimes that might make you feel a bit like overwhelmed, you know. But there again, you keep reminding yourself, I'm in my truth. That gives you the strength to keep moving forward in this direction, you know. Okay, so there's somebody connected to you that's been very, very stuck. And they've got the Eight of Swords here, indicating this kind of stuck energy. They've been obstructing themselves, basically. And that's through their own mind activity, unfortunately. But they've got here the Knight of Cups. This person is going to be showing themselves over the next week that they are genuinely there for you as a friend. The Knight of Cups, often people say it's romantic. The true meaning of the card really is somebody that actually cares, you know. So there's some kind of shift going on for you here, from somebody who's been very stuck to somebody who actually cares, okay? So everything is shifting and changing here for you the next week. Yes, oh my God, the word blocking is coming up. I am sorry for blocking you. I was triggered. So there you go. Somebody has been very triggered, very blocked, but the next week you should see more kindness. If it's a collective energy, this collective group of people or collective energy is going to start shifting, and it's going to start being a lot more kind towards you, you know. But I think that's where you've just, it's like a reflection of where you've learned recently to just be more authentic and honest with yourself, make better decisions, you know, and be more receptive to Spirit. So we'll see what Spirit is advising you over the next week. Ooh, triumphant. You've got your guardian angel, or if you don't believe in angels, there is some kind of spirit guide that is like a guardian to you. Someone in spirit who is a guardian to you. And they are very happy with the breakthrough you're making at the moment. They are just like, yes, 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 Virgo. You are making such a breakthrough at this time. And you're going to see the rewards of that really over the next week, as there is an energy coming towards you that's a lot more kind and caring. How lovely. So we're going to go and look at Capricorn now. So Capricorn for the next week. Spiritual. Your spiritual journey is beginning. Oh dear. Right, well, let's face it, in this soul family, on this channel, if you watch it regularly, we are a soul family, and our spiritual journey's been going on for a while, hasn't it? But the thing is, the human ego really always wants to intervene with that spiritual journey and manipulate it, change it. Oh, I'm not happy about this, I'm not happy about that, and constantly trying to change it. But it's like with Capricorn now, you've got a true spiritual journey happening because you're able to push your human ego aside and say, right, sometimes what I've been doing has been a bit cold to myself, or shut down in some way, and it's not really helping my spiritual alignment. So there is definitely some kind of massive recognition that Capricorn's doing over the next week, and Spirit is just basically saying, well done, you know, you're finally understanding that we're working together on your life. So your life is really beginning now, and I feel it's going to be opening up a lot for you. Yeah, you've got the Two of Cups, Capricorn. So there's something to do with Capricorn finally gaining like a connection with yourself, with your feelings, with your truth. And this can be testing and difficult for Capricorn. I've got Capricorn in my chart, my mum's Capricorn, and it's like you're a very determined, you know, we've got great determination, but sometimes that determination blocks us from actually just tuning into our feelings or ourself. And with the Two of Cups, you're definitely starting to tune in more to yourself, and it's like you're having some kind of like lovely things happen over the next week, like, oh, you know, maybe things that you've enjoyed, you're starting to enjoy those things again, or certain relationships you're starting to enjoy again, you know. So connections happening for you, social connections, emotional connections, spiritual connections. And you've got here the Justice card. You are now cutting a karmic cycle, you know, or you've paid back a certain level of karma. And I suspect this has been to do with some kind of emotional block that was going on between yourself and yourself. I know it sounds crazy, but we emotionally have blocks to ourselves sometimes because of pain, you know, and we sort of suppress our emotions and feelings because we're in pain and we're scared. Most of it's because of fear, really. But then we are blocked off from our own emotional world, and then we're blocked off from other people's emotional worlds. It's very hard to say when the line gets drawn, but it is usually to do with karma as well and paying karma back. So with the Justice card, you're getting confirmation that you are finally getting to a point where things are going to start going more in your favour because you have paid a certain level of karma off, you know. Also, that you are understanding balance, because I mean, you've got the two with the Two of Cups and the Justice. They both represent imbalance. So you're definitely accessing a deeper like reservoir of spirit, the substratum, which we all are connected within. So what I'm saying by that is, like, this is massive for Capricorn the next week. You'll notice things starting to go better for you. Now, your person, there's somebody here, right, who, I'll be honest with you, I'm just going to say it how it is. They're in ego. They've got the Three of Cups to the Devil. This person really struggles to connect with themselves, and they will probably be a manifestation of you, you know, because everything is. So this is not you anymore. But remember, your physical reality always is going to take longer to catch up with where you are at energetically. So it is frustrating because you're making such significant connections within yourself now. And things are going to start moving forward in your favour. But there is still going to be somebody or something that is still behind you. It hasn't, you know, the physical reality hasn't yet caught up with you. So it's just remembering that some of the things Spirit is teaching us is about patience, being humble, you know, really to help us kill off this human ego, because it's the human ego that blocks us off from our true spirit, you know, our true power. It's mad, you know. So when people say they need the human ego, no, you don't need the human ego, because it's obstructing you from your full powers. This person that you're dealing with is obstructing themselves from their full powers by doing things that are egoic. They socialise too much, so maybe they drink too much, maybe they've got addictions, maybe they have depressed thoughts, whatever it may be, or maybe they can be controlling. But they basically project a false persona. That's the human ego. That's what the human ego tends to do, project false personas, and that's somebody connected to you. And we do feel compassion for that person or that group energy, because it's because they're frightened or because they are trying to protect themselves or be strong. But it's the wrong way around, isn't it? But you've made those connections. You understand that now, and you're not doing that anymore. You've broken the ground. You've learned to connect in here, which is massive for Capricorn. You know, in this soul family, Capricorns are doing really, really well. Let's have a look at what your person's thinking. My higher self is trying to reach you. Yeah. So this is the amazing thing. Even when we have a human ego, the consciousness is always there. It's always present. It's just obstructed. So there is somebody that falls into a false ego persona, but underneath it, their consciousness is there. Their higher self is there the whole time. And you know that, but it would make this person quite tricky to deal with. But again, it's just remembering. I have to remember it myself. You know, we're paying back karmas. So we have to just say, right, okay, I'm working with you, Spirit. I do understand that sometimes I've got to just take things on the chin, because this is all part of my growth and my involvement in this lifetime. And, you know, that's why I'm here as your spiritual sister, to remind you, because I have to remind myself all the time, you know. It's bloody hard work. So let's have a look at, but, you know, the main thing is, Capricorn, you're breaking your ground. It's just a matter now of being a bit patient while all the energy within you starts to then be able to ripple out into your external reality, and it's just going to take a bit more time. You've got here, sign from above, guardian angel. You may not yet see some signs, but you are going to receive them. You may have already received a few recently. I think you have, but there's more to come. And these signs are going to help confirm for you how Spirit is working with you and through you, and how to keep aligning yourself to your energy rather than this person's. Because this person's got a powerful energy that could be quite overpowering at times, but it's how you stay centered in your own energy and spirit so that that person doesn't trigger you too much. And then gradually, you know, things will shift. Things will shift. Because whoever this is, their ego, the human ego is a temporary state, and it's a temporary entity, it's a temporary creature. It's a creature of change. So I would say patience with that situation or person, and just keep doing what you're doing, because you're doing great work, Capricorn. You know, and you are going to notice things starting to move forward in your favour. So we're going to Aquarius. Ooh. Straight away. Let go. Sometimes it's best to let go and let the universe work things out in divine timing. It's not easy. I've got Aquarius in my chart, and, you know, I've found it hard to let go from some patterns that have been quite stubborn for me. And just because it's even hard to understand sometimes, isn't it? Sometimes it's hard to understand what to let go of. But there's something to do with divine timing, and this time for you is very divine, and you are going to be making these realizations, you know, especially over the next week, that you're just noticing you can relax a bit more finally. You've got the Judgment to the Empress, so that's very much like, I think, what we had for Taurus. Well, in any case, it's about a new beginning for you, based off the fact that you are working much more with Spirit. Something you really recently realised has helped you now to do things differently, and you're valuing yourself. You are much more open to infinite possibility. You're much more in feminine energy, so you're sort of like understanding to just be a vessel for what's happening right now in the present moment rather than looking back. I just feel like you're not looking back anymore, and this is reassurance from Spirit that your life is now changing and it's just going to keep moving forward now. It's interesting, your energy is really opening up at this time. So you could find new connections coming. You could find lots of creative things happening for you over the next week. But your energy is really opening up in a very beautiful way. Yeah, there's going to be something here that you are able to action with the Ace of Wands. It's like somebody connected to you, or maybe it's a group energy, knows that there's a really good opportunity here with you, and they know that they can action it, but they sometimes get confused. So there could be some confusion or delay. But the answer lies inside this person, or there's a key that somebody's looking for. Okay, so it's quite, with the Two of Wands and the Empress, it's quite a mysterious time at the moment for Aquarius, but you are so much more grounded in yourself, and I feel very grounded in the present moment. So you are going to be birthing new situations and new things in your life now. You know, because we can't birth anything from the past. It always has. And that's where Aquarius, you're now connecting with the present moment more. And new things are going to be birthing out. There's somebody who's got a good opportunity, and they still seem a bit stuck or confused. And the answer lies within them. They've got to figure it out. There's somebody saying, we are on hold, but I am coming back for you. I think somebody is struggling with the opportunity they've got with you. And it's all to do with them figuring it out. And they will figure it out. They hold the world. It's inside them. It's the truth. The truth will always come out, you know. Let's have a look at your spirit guides and what they're advising. Don't compromise. Wow. I mean, with the Judgment to the Empress, you do have a very grounded energy. And your spirit guides are saying to you, you know, that you're not really going to compromise here. You know your value and your worth. You are ready to be working with spirit and opening up to life. So there's no point in you now retracting back to old patterns or habits. This is, for Aquarius, the next week is all new. So just wait, because things are going to massively shift for you, because you're going to be doing things in such a new way. Because spirit, there's someone in spirit that is no longer allowing you to compromise. They're getting you to see the truth of what you deserve, and they're keeping you focused. You know, they're keeping you on track. So that's interesting. So you're going to be much happier. You're going to be much more creative. You're going to be birthing new things and really relaxing and just being in your power. So you'll be handling, whoever this confused energy is, you'll be handling them quite effectively now. So that's going to be interesting to see how that impacts that situation, isn't it? Okay. So we're going to Gemini. Oh, true love. True love comes when you least expect it. So we always start the relationship cards with ourselves. Yeah, because our relationship with ourselves is obviously reflected out into other relationships. So this is about you really learning to love yourself finally. And that sounds so cliched, I know, and it's the hardest love for a lot of us, not for everyone, but in this soul family, I think it is hard for us to it's been hard for us to achieve that love of self. And what is love of self? Love of self is dropping the human ego and the things it tells us we want or how we should be. That's the human ego. That's what it does. It tries to make us into a false identity, and it's realizing actually who I actually am is okay, and I'm okay with the way I am and the way I live my life, you know, and that's good for me, you know. And I've got Gemini in my chart as well, so I'm resonating with this message. Yeah, I mean, you've got the Tower cards. The Tower card is all about truth. That's why the Tower just falls down, because it was built on a false human ego, you know. It wasn't ever a real tower, you know, and it has to come down. And you've got the Page of Wands, so the next week is very exciting. It's fresh, it's new. There's new adventures to be had now. Also new communications to be had. So you could be receiving communication from someone or communication from spirit, but you will be feeling maybe a bit apprehensive, but also a bit excited too, because you finally know what your alignment is. So this is a whole new ball game now of Gemini getting your life much more in the right sort of direction for you. You know, whatever's not been aligned, whatever you no longer resonated with has had to go very recently. The person connected to you has the Fool and the Ten of Pentacles. So there's somebody that's mirroring you next week as well, new beginning for them as well, with the Fool. And like you, feeling a bit apprehensive. You can see in this card, normally the Page of Wands is looking up and is all excited, but this one's like a little bit apprehensive. So that's why I know there is that kind of feeling lurking around. And the Fool has the same sort of feeling. There's somebody that's a bit fearful, you know, probably very fearful actually. And but what they want to do is they do want to build, you know, Ten of Pentacles. They want to build an abundant future. They want to deal with whatever responsibilities they have and address them in a responsible manner. And they look set to be more genuine and more, I don't know if the word responsible is right, but that's kind of the energy that's coming through for the next week for this person. So even if they're nervous, they're just headed in a much better alignment now. So you're both mirroring each other. You're both going to be building a much better life, you know. So I'm undecided about us. I need time to think things through. Don't rush me. So that's kind of been the energy for your person. And I suspect it's kind of been the energy for you as well. Because that's the only reason we build up a tower with the human ego. We build up things that we think we want at the time, and then we realise it wasn't really us. It wasn't really what we wanted. I've done it loads of times. I won't go into it now, but I've built loads of things in my life and then realised they were completely wrong for me. So, you know, it's okay. We can be compassionate to each other, can't we? Because sometimes we are trying to figure out what is really our truth and what is not our truth, and that takes time. Because it's all dependent on our level of consciousness, isn't it? It's not necessarily anyone's fault. But what I see happening now is going from an undecided time or a confusing time to much more clarity now. Ooh. Okay. Oh, yeah. How interesting. Your spirit guides are saying that you are making wise decisions over the next week. So that's confirmation, isn't it? And it all starts off by loving yourself and realising, you know, what you've been doing that wasn't very loving, how you weren't being very loving to yourself, and now figuring out how you can be more loving to yourself, you know. So positive changes happening the next week for Gemini, coming more and more into your truth, and starting to see, you know, some positive shifts even just feeling more excited because you actually can identify what it is now that you know, how it is you want to live, or how you can handle situations better now. Let's go into Libra. Okay, Cupid. Love is in the air when Cupid is around. Oh my goodness. So all relationships start off with our relationship with ourselves. So there's a whole dose of self-love here. You've definitely been kinder to yourself lately. And, you know, there's going to be more loving energies coming towards you in the next week because of that. Yeah, you've got Queen of Pentacles, so you've created more of a vision for yourself. You've been making much better decisions and judgments lately, and Spirit is rewarding you over the next week with a golden opportunity. So your abundance levels could definitely be picking up here, or you could be at a fruitful new beginning in your life, based off the fact that you've been making better judgments and you've got more self-value. You know, the Queen of Pentacles is very authentic with herself. Doesn't matter what gender you are, it's just an energy, but she's very authentic with herself. So you've been authentic with yourself, and now boom, you've got a new beginning that's going to be much more based on reality. Now, the energy of somebody around you, or a group energy, has been the Five of Wands. So there's been a lot of conflict and a lot of confusion. But we move into the Star. So the next week, your person or group energy is getting a lot more clearer in their alignment and following the truth. It's like, boom, something is clicking in their head and they're realising what they have to do. The reason why they were conflicted is because they couldn't let go of the past. Okay. Can be difficult. Your spirit guides are advising you that you are making a wise decision. Yes, I mean, the Queen of Pentacles is about making good judgments. That's why she is the most abundant queen. And then your spirit guides are helping you to make these wise decisions. So it is confirmation. Like, if you're thinking, geez, you know, how am I now being more loving to myself and more truthful and actually following my own values rather than other people, you know, it's because there's someone in spirit helping you do this. But anyway, they are saying that over the next week, you're just going to carry on being much more wise and, you know, much more wise and just much more responsible, or you're just approaching things in the right way. So it's great news. Something's gonna shift from being very conflicting and confusing to really now moving in the right direction and much more positive. So that's great. It's a real breakthrough for Libra. Right, so let's go into Leo. Ooh, blimey. This card never comes out. Telepathic. Close soul connections are harmoniously synchronized, creating moments of telepathy. Right. So there's something really crazy going on here. There's something really crazy going on for Leo. Like, super amazing. Close soul connections are harmoniously synchronized, creating moments of telepathy. It's like you're coming into alignment with somebody, or you're coming into alignment with spirit. You must have come into alignment with yourself, really. You must have come into alignment with spirit, and that is why you've received information, or you will be receiving information over the next week that will make it really clear for you. And yeah, somehow that is manifesting in the outside world. Some of you could be really feeling much closer to somebody at this time, or much closer to yourself. Spirit is saying, well done. You have done something very well recently. Now, you could have done well at things, but were you really happy underneath? You know, and the next week, you're actually building a much more solid foundation in yourself, whereby, yes, I can do well at things, but I actually have reached a milestone where I'm happy in myself, you know? So it's like Leo is getting all bases covered, you know, now in your life. It's like, I do well at these things. I'm quite successful at what I do. You know, I'm quite successful how I come across. But I also have got the ground floor in the right place as well. Wow. So you could be making changes or making things more solid at home. But it's also going to be within yourself, especially with that telepathic card. Something's gaining a more solid foundation here. Somebody's got terrible problems with mental health with the Devil card. Either mental health or addiction. And it is a temporary state, but it's also very pervasive at the time when you get the Devil. It's very overwhelming. So this person will sometimes, or maybe this is recently, this is how they were, you know, struggle to actually like just be themselves. You know who this person is, but they struggle to be themselves because they get taken over by this kind of human ego, this false self, which makes them either do addictive things or have mental health problems. And then what's happening the next week is much better. They've got the Nine of Wands. They know they've got wounds, but this person is going to persevere regardless. And they're just going to do well. They're going to do well because you are dealing with somebody here that does have determination. Okay. Yeah, I'm going to speak to you. I'm going to contact you. I need to speak to you. So that's interesting. Let's see what your spirit guides are supporting you with. Oh, generosity. That's very nice. St. Nicholas. Oh, I love that card because Nicholas is the name of one of my spirit guides. Okay. Now, so your spirit guides, there is definitely someone in spirit who will be extremely close to you at this time because, you know, that's confirmation for me because I know that's the name of my spirit guide. So there is a particular person in spirit that is very close to you at this time, or an energy. They are helping you to get the balance in your life, Leo. And it's not just going to be, oh, I do well out there. It's going to be, I'm doing well in here. You know, you are getting things way sorted and you are just so aligned to yourself. And it's like your energy is so good right now. You could actually be pulling someone towards you or pulling a situation forward because it's like, because spirit is going to be generous to you. Because it's like a celebration or congratulations, a reward. A reward from spirit because you have been so determined. And interestingly, your person is very determined as well. And they've been through one hell of a time. So, we'll go into Aries next. Okay. Aries. Look deeply within look deeply within to discover your soul purpose in your relationships. Right. So, you're going deeper now, much more deeper into your truth, much more deeper into who you really are. There is a deeper purpose to one of your relationships, and that is why it kind of withstands the tests, okay? I feel like there is a relationship that goes through a hell of a lot of tests. You are severely tested by it, but it's like spirit is using this relationship to help you learn such deep things. It's like a soul bond or a soul contract with the Ten of Pentacles. It could be a family member or it could be someone who's in your soul family. You're going to be taking your power back over the next week. You've been very responsible. You're dealing with it in a very kind-hearted way, but you are now taking your power back, getting more clarity, and really knowing exactly how to deal with this person or group of people. Now, your person, it's strange. They go through this really weird energy. You probably won't want to hear this, but I just have to say it as it is. You know, they're very nervous. They give you 1 minute, they take away the next. They're more balanced 1 minute, and then they start to retract back into their full self, this fake persona. And then they sort of like, they're not honest. They're not honest with themselves. Okay, they're either not honest with you or they're not honest with themselves. You are taking your power back, and you've got their number. You know what's going on. They're basically saying, I am listening to my guides. I mean, that's the thing, because I think they're trying to create more balance, but then it's like they get very, very insecure or scared, or they just kind of fall back into old patterns of thinking, oh, I can do it the easy way. And it's like, well, that's ego. Your spirit guides are helping you with forgiveness. Okay, so there's Mary Magdalene, forgiveness. You will find it within your heart to be very compassionate, even though there's somebody here that is definitely testing you big time. It is for the spiritual wisdom that you are having to endure this situation. But I feel it's getting easier for you the next week to do this. I feel you are going to be supported with forgiveness and just seeing this person in the true light. And, you know, you realise now a lot of things about this connection, and you understand it, you see it clearly. Nobody's going to be able to pull the wool over your eyes. You see things much more with clarity. And you also can have forgiveness and compassion, which kind of might seem crazy, knowing that you haven't really been treated right, but you understand it from a deeper level. Your person is still struggling between the false self and the true self, you know, between non-alignment and true alignment with spirit. They go off kilter. Okay, so but you're kind of rising, basically. You are rising. So that's the message. I think it's just basically going to mean the next week's going to be easy for you, because you know what you're doing now when it comes to this person. All right, so let's go into Sag. Boundaries. Have sensible boundaries, and that's important. Well, it is important, and boundaries come from our truth. When we don't know what our truth is, we can't really, and we're not connected to ourselves, our boundaries are all over the place, aren't they? So that's why if you say to yourself, oh, I must set boundaries, it doesn't usually work. I've tried it. I've got Sag in my chart, and I've not always had great boundaries at all, because we really do care and feel passionate. So, okay, so you're getting much better at tuning into yourself, and you know that very first moment that something just feels out of alignment. It's like, and then just sitting with that, and instead of being reactive to it, like I normally would be, it's like catching it in the moment and then responding to that feeling of that's something is trying to pull me out of alignment here, and I'm not going to allow it. What can I do to stay centered? Yeah, Temperance, that is a very centered and balanced energy. That is definitely indicating that you're picking up on the signs much, much more quickly. As soon as something feels out of alignment, you're noticing it. You're being kinder to yourself. And you've got the Lovers card. It's a bit of a mysterious time for you at the moment. There might be mystery around a relationship. Also, it might feel like there's a bit of a delay. You're waiting for more information, or you're waiting to find something out. So you've just got to stay centered at this time until that information does come out. Somebody connected to you is trying to rebuild, And they do genuinely mean this. They've got the Three of Pentacles. They're trying to work with you over the next week. They've also got the magic touch. So they've got the ability to raise their vibration, you know, when they want. And they might not know how they do it, but somehow they raise their vibration and things start to happen for them quite quickly. So they're quite a magical person. But it's still early days for them. They're saying, will you wait for me? So they know that they know that they're sort of like rebuilding, okay? They know they're like right at the beginning of their journey here. And it's like they're trying to entice you to, you know, be patient with them. At the moment, I think you feel like a little bit unsure, like it's all a bit mysterious. And Spirit is saying, well, while it does feel like that, just keep zoning into your truth with the Temperance and just keep zoning into that. And as long as you keep doing that, you're doing exactly the right thing. Steady progress. So your spirit guides are basically reassuring you, Sag, that over the next week, you are going to be making this steady progress with this connection, and even with yourself. You know, this is steady, good progress here. You're not letting people pull you out of alignment. So let's go into Scorpio. Universe. The universe is guiding you to that special person. Allow everything to take its natural course. Oh dear. So this is very divine. It's very spiritually led. As long as you're doing what feels your truth at this given time, you're allowing the universe to work through you. You know, and if you're doing something because your head is saying to you, oh, I should be doing this, then that's not the alignment. And then Spirit can't help you with that because it's come from your head. It's got to be what's in your heart, you know? So what feels aligned? And if something, because I've struggled with this myself, I'll be honest with you. If something doesn't feel good, but you sort of feel it is your alignment, the best thing to do is to delay it. It's too soon to make a decision. You need to pull back. You need to center yourself and feel how the universe is going to guide you. You know, so it can be a very slow process. You're being more rational, a lot more rational, and you are coming closer to yourself, Scorpio. You've got the Emperor card and you've got the King of Pentacles. You're coming much closer to source. You're doing something very mystical at this time with yourself. And you are going to be really, oh my God, I mean, money could be improving, love could be, so much could be improving for you at this time, because you are being more rational and more careful about the decisions you're making, and you are allowing time and space, and you're not rushing. You're not rushing the process, but you are making sure you're centered. And if something doesn't feel aligned, it's not about throwing the whole lot out. I tend to be a bit like that, and I think in the soul family we can be a bit like that. We can get so passionate and emotionally triggered. It's like something doesn't feel aligned, the whole lot goes. But sometimes it's just about not being so reactive to what's out there, and just, if you sense something doesn't feel aligned, just pulling back, waiting until you feel more centered, and then proceeding when Spirit gives you that sign. And that's what you're doing. That's what you have really cracked. Now, somebody connected to you doesn't want to be manipulated, and they've become very strong and very powerful to make sure that they don't get manipulated ever again. But they do have the Four of Cups, so they can be a bit stagnant and a bit like bitter almost about the past here. And they're not noticing what a great opportunity they've got. It's like, geez, wake up. Wake up. Look at this. I know that you are the one I want to spend my life with. They're suppressing a hell of a lot here because of things that have happened to them. You know, it's a silly thing to do, but it's what the human ego makes us do things like that. Makes us do silly things because we're scared and stuff like that. But you're not letting this bother you. You're not letting this personal situation that is a bit stark and a bit bitter, you're not letting it bother you, because you're focusing on staying aligned and doing things very gradually. And you're working with the universe. You are literally working with spirit so that the universe can flow through you. And you're peaceful the next week, very peaceful. Okay, so you're being authentic. Your person's still suppressing stuff. Or if it's not a person, it's a situation in your life that is meant for you, that needs to come through for you. But it's the more peaceful and gradual you are, it will allow this situation to unlock and come forth towards you. Okay, so let's go into Pisces. Temptation. Think carefully about the situation. Oh, goodness me. Right. So the next week, you're really thinking. It's a good card to have, really, because you're aware of temptations and you're aware of being more real. At this point in time, your level of consciousness has gone up and you can see a lot more clearly. This is a great opportunity now for you to proceed forward in a brand new way. Okay, there's an opportunity here for you the next week to proceed in a brand new way that is completely fresh. You might be a bit nervous at times. Try not to think about it. Just try to follow each step. You know, just take one day at a time. Because this is a great opportunity now to action and really gain in your mastery. You know, you really see things clearly now, and you really can honour this opportunity and push this opportunity to its highest and best. You've got that ability now. You've got that opportunity now, you know, so you can approach something in a much better way now, and really move something forwards. There's somebody here who is attractive. They could be very attracted to you. They've got the Seven of Pentacles. This is somebody that gets a bit fed up sometimes, but they are definitely looking at the long term with you, and they will be there long term. Okay, so they give off mixed energy, because on the one hand, they come across like, I don't know, almost like maybe they don't need you, or they've got other stuff going on. But actually, this is an opportunity or a person that is sort of like their spirit is showing their long term. Look at this, I feel insecure. So that bravado hides what's underneath, doesn't it? That really, they actually do feel quite insecure underneath. Healing. So spirit is saying that there is a lot of healing going on the next week for Pisces. So much is healing within you at this time, and you are being supported by spirit so that you can now action something in your life. Maybe it was something that you've already had, an opportunity you've already had, or something you've already been doing, but doing it in a new way. It's like a whole new adventure, or maybe it is completely new. But you're gonna be able to move forward now. It's healing. It's very healing for you to do something new now. Okay. So let's go into Cancer. Cancer for the week ahead, Monday through Friday. Okay, boundaries. Having sensible boundaries is important. And we got this card for Sagittarius, I think. And boundaries just comes from our truth. If we don't know our truth, because we keep playing different roles, getting involved in different things, then our boundaries are all over the place. But once we have clarity over who we are, what feels aligned, then, you know, we can be much more firm on our boundaries. I think Cancers in the soul family, we swing between being very boundaries and firm and then not at all. Like too hard or too soft. And it's getting that medium, the midpoint. And that comes from really being in our truth and honouring that first and foremost. But because we're so nurturing sometimes, we get aligned to somebody else's truth, and then we're not honouring our truth. And then that's when our boundaries start to go out the window. So something's been driving you crazy and it's been on your mind and you've been thinking, trying to analyse it or think about it. And the next week you've got the Hangman. It's like Spirit is not allowing this situation to move forward at a fast rate because they're trying to keep you very awake. You're not going to go back to sleep. If you are worried or concerned that you're going to drop back into old habits and patterns, I can assure you that's not going to happen now. Spirit just won't let it happen, basically. The person connected to you is very stuck. They get abandonment issues and they start to think negatively or fearfully. They may feel like an outsider at times. They worry. They may have childhood issues. It's all in their heads. These issues are not really present anymore. Oh, look at this. I'm affected by cosmic and collective energies. So you deal with someone who's highly sensitive. Okay. And that's their issue to sort out. It's not for you to solve. You have to stay centered on your alignment. And that's why Spirit's not going to let you lose sight of that now. You know what your alignment is now. Sign from above. Spirit is going to be showering more and more signs on you. I feel like Cancer's already had signs recently and there's going to be more coming because they're going to keep you on track now so that you just keep centered on your truth and clarity. And it's like, you know, will just keep moving forward with that now. And that's going to really make things grow for you in a much more positive way. You're not going to be confused anymore. Okay, so that's the main message. So I'm sending you lots of love and peace. If you'd like to book in for a reading, do contact me. Thanks for giving the video a thumbs up. And one love across Gaia, wherever you are.